want to understand where you think these stimulus measures or a plan to help save the airline industry may be at this moment, and what you're hearing behind the scenes.
Well, let's be clear that on October 1st, aviation workers were actually furloughed, and others are now going without a paycheck, so over 100,000. And there's also no backstop to those furloughs as well, while we are in a situation where airline industry revenues are down 85%. So on Friday, Speaker Pelosi did put a standalone bill on the floor demonstrating absolute commitment to saving these jobs. She's asked the airlines to hold off. Of course, those furloughs have gone forward, but the airlines have said that they can reverse if there is a package in place within the coming days. I believe Speaker Pelosi bought us a few days by doing that, and I want to thank her very much. But this is immediate, and we have got to get this in place right away. It's an area of agreement where a larger package can be built from. What she said was that we're either going to have a standalone bill or we're going to have a full COVID relief bill that would get relief to the rest of the country. And that is what we have always been pushing for. And so that is what we are fighting for right now. And we are hopeful at this time that that can get done. She called it imminent on Friday. And so we're going to be engaging today to see where we are and see what we need to do to make sure that these jobs don't go away.
Sara, so just so we're all clear here, your sense is that there will be that the standalone bill will pass, and will it pass through the Senate as well, or do you believe that we're talking about returning to the larger bill, which of course has been complicated now for many weeks?
The focus is on the larger bill, Andrew, and that has been our focus forever. There's no reason that we can't have a bill in place. There is widespread agreement. Our issue happens to have the most agreement. 96 senators on record now supporting our issue. The full House, bipartisan support in the House, even though the Republicans stopped the vote from going forward on Friday. Our focus has been use our issue to then put together the other issues that are also in agreement. Small business support, and including restaurants, childcare and school support. We need to take care of our children, and we need to take care of our parents who have children to be able to work. All of these issues, rental assistance. There is so much that the country needs.
Take us behind the scenes, though. You mentioned on Friday that Republicans, stopped it from being voted on. Why? What's happening here?
So there was an opposition, but what happened was there was an agreement not to make this a wedge issue. This was a statement that made it very clear that everyone is committed to making sure that we have the continuation of the payroll support program. I believe this bought us a few more days, but I'll tell you, this will start to unwind. Because as airline workers are furloughed, they start to lose their qualifications. If we go very long, to be able to recall people makes it very, very difficult. And there's no backstop now. There are other airlines who are deciding what they need to be doing here. So we need to get this in place. People don't have health care right now. These aviation workers don't have health care right now. We have a mother and father who have been furloughed, who are having a baby this week, who need that health care. We have people with chronic diseases and who are fighting terminal illnesses who need that health care. So does the rest of the country.
Sara,
Go ahead, Andrew.
In terms of the timing issue, though, that you're talking about, and I am very much appreciative of the concerns about the employees who need health care, but I'm also interested in the business aspect for the airlines themselves. You obviously want pilots and other workers who have to obviously be constantly tested and everything else. I'm not talking about constantly tested for COVID. I'm talking about tested for the work that they're doing and training and everything else. How long can this go on for before it would have a material impact? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 6 weeks? Just so we understand sort of what we're up against.
2 weeks starts to have a material impact. And Andrew, let me be very clear. It is very difficult to keep people in their certification right now because of the COVID requirements in the training facilities. So training is slowed down anyway because of COVID. So if you have to start getting people back and they have to get a longer training, because that's what happens. When you furlough people, they start to fall out of those certifications, and they actually have to have a longer training period to get those certifications back. When you have training centers in the middle of this crisis who are cut back because of the procedures of COVID, that means that you cannot return the operation to full to full steam. You can't get these employees back fast enough. That's why we're talking about a matter of days. And within a couple weeks, we're starting to talk about the situation that I just described. Let's not forget, too, that this is also infrastructure. This is a jobs plan and infrastructure. So the airlines have already announced that they're cutting service. This is going to be cut service to communities. We need to get this in place so that we can restore that service to the communities as quickly as possible. For the mail, for their connectivity to the rest of the country, jobs and infrastructure in this program. And so we only have a matter of days to get this done.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.